Okay, and we are now live over on Twitch, and so this is Talon versus Keiser University, Lakeland Esports, or as Sock keeps referring to them as cool.
Basically what it is. Like, well, let's be honest here. Like, I don't know what else to say it as, you know.
Fair. So, I believe we're just waiting on their last player. We have Ace of Base, which is Team Talon's reserve player, for some strange reason not as spectating Talon. So I don't know why that's that, but hey ho, it's not my circus, not my monkeys, as the saying goes. So yes, we're live over on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord, all that simultaneously, because I hate my life, apparently. I joke. Obviously I've not watched Keiser University before. We've obviously seen how Talon, this new variation of Talon, has been doing since the new coach has been helping them out. They've currently gone 2 wins up for scrimmages, so on the side of Team Talon we have Kharki's, Nightmare, Ronan, Kyria and Alpha Victor, and Keiser University we have Ruby, Fancy, Dali, and Edric. And we're just waiting on their final member, and then we can get going. We are running a little late because we're waiting on Keiser, but hey ho, we are here, we are watching, we are live, we are taking in anything that is said.
Zemo, the coach, is Atlas, because he's going around with each of the teams for about 2 weeks, getting them comps on what their comfortable heroes are, and yeah. You got in chat. Okay.
Okay.
Making joke bands about stuff. You know what? You gotta have to find some way to keep yourself entertained while we're waiting.
True. It does look like we've got a Lijiang Tower to start off with. One of the joke bands was Life Weaver, which, if they do go down that route, it would be interesting. But it'll be interesting to see what the teams choose to do with the actual official bands. If this is the joke bands or if it's the official bands, I don't know either or. But if a Life Weaver band is coming out, I don't know.
I don't know. No, I don't think they're banning. No, I don't think they're actually banning anything. I think they're just making jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Why do you think they would ever think about a Weaver ban?
No, I don't think so. Weaver's bad. Like, generally pretty bad. His whole kit is he plays very reactively. You can't really play an aggressive Weaver. Everything you do as a Weaver is reactive. Like, the only thing you maybe can proactively do is maybe, like, give your teammate a pedal. And then they can get a bit of high ground, but even then, the pedal dies extremely quickly if you shoot at it. Or just shoot at the person up top who's exposed with no additional cover other than the pedal. Weaver is usually really good at backing up, and that's pretty much all Weaver comps are good at doing is hitting the S key. But generally, Weaver's there to sustain fights, mostly. He's there to basically prolong fights, so if you're playing defense, he's really good, because you're bleeding the clock, and that's what you want to be doing, but on offense, he's the exact opposite. You do not want to be playing a Weaver on offense, because again, bleeds the clock. For you and the enemy.
100%. I'm going to quickly ask chat, all 3 chats, who they think is going to be banned on this first map.
Well, that's if they're doing bans, though. That's if they're doing bans. I don't know for sure if they're doing bans.
I don't know if they're doing bans, but I know that there is no map pool that they're working off of. So...
Yeah. But then again, it's also scrims, so don't expect bans, because again, it's a scrim, so it's mostly there for practice and stuff like that.
Some teams do run bans in scrims,
yeah.
Just so they are used to it.
Yeah.
Matt's coming in with a 30% suggestion on the Thara ban.
Maybe. That's all really dependent, though, because Farah can get use out of 2 of the 3 2 of the 3 maps, but
Yeah.
it's once the kid's control center, she's kinda dog. I'm not gonna lie, she's kinda dog water.
We're still waiting on the final member of Keiser University to jump into the lobby, Matt, so you've got plenty of time. If Nick can also tell me when there is a message in Discord, since I will be looking at over at the 2 different chats. Matt, sorry, not Matt, Nick, Sark, please mute. You hear your video.
Oh, I don't know why. Is my noise suppression on? My noise suppression is on.
Yeah. The last
I
player
think I just gotta
is
turn it.
7% into the patch. I'm sorry for delay for y'all. I'll be doing hero bands also. We'll be doing hero bands. The POC just told me to ask Talon and was good with it, just to keep you all updated. So they are running bans per the captain of Talon. Just told me that. So we do know that bans are in play for this game, which is good to know. So that's what the delay is, people. The last player is having to patch their OverWatch. Maybe a Sojourn ban. Um, very. Yeah, yeah. Actually, the sightlines are.
But honestly, I wouldn't talk too much about bans if they haven't discussed having bans. Like if they're not
We've
gonna
just
play
had
with bans, I don't.
confirmation that they are running
Are they playing
bans.
with bans?
Yes. I've just been DM'd by Talon's captain.
Okay,
And,
awesome, perfect.
which is Kyria, for those that are wanting to know. Yeah, well, Salk is a little slow from time to time, getting information like that in their head.
Okay, first off, no one told me. You didn't say anything.
I
First
did!
off,
Matt heard me
you
say it!
you definitely did not say anything. Uh,
Clip it! But yes, they have
I don't
confirmed
care.
that they are playing with bans. With bans in play, it'll be interesting to see how they go about this. A Sojourn Blan? A Sojourn Blan? What the fuck is a Blam? A Sojourn ban would be interesting to watch. Um, if you're Talon here, where do you go? Where do you go with your ban?
I think it all depends because Ronan's usually the Soj, usually playing a lot of the hit scan heroes, or Nightmare will tend to play Ashe too, so they'll probably run the double hit scan, but we'll see. But it's kind of all dependent on what you know, what the opponents want to play.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There, I think Fancy is a DPS player, primarily playing in Cass, Soge, Mei, Widowmaker. So they probably don't want the Soge ban, if that's what they're thinking. But
But if Ace is gone, who's gonna want the bench? Uh, a lot of banter coming in from Keiser University and Talon towards poor Ace of Base.
85%. Dude, we're entertaining. We're trying to be entertaining at what is it? We're trying to be entertaining about half an hour in.
Yep.
Loading up Geometry Dash really quick, says Nightmare, aka 4J. Or yeah.
There we go.
Or no wait, 4J is Orb. Hang on, no, dude, it's a long day. It's a really long day. And the net person's here, let's go play.
Karki's is 4J.
Yes.
Rightly.
Yes. Dude, I've had a long week, and I'm also, I've also got stuff coming up, so.
Yes.
A trip to Europe.
Thankfully, we have all members of both teams in the lobby finally.
And so we'll get to play.
We will be.
Oh god.
Oh gosh, what was that message?
Did you get a message?
No, I saw the message.
But it looks like it looks like we're getting a cast ban out from Talon and then a Doom ban out from Cool.
Interesting. Okay, so they do have another player for a single-less sub.
Now arriving at
But they said just play for now. So going in, we're looking at Leisure Tower. We're going to be looking at Control Center from the get-go. Again, blue team is going to be Team Talon. Red team is going to be Keiser University. Nick, for what is being highlighted here from Talon, do you think this is what they're coming out the gates with?
Sorry, I had a player that I ended up, sorry. What was the question? I have somebody messaging me saying, being really mad at me because I teabagged them when they were playing Soldier and they were playing like a Call of Duty player.
With what is being shown here by Talon, I was asking, do you think that's how they wanted to play this? And they are.
Well, it's Control. It's Control. They're playing the kind of the Malga Reaper Echo variant that's basically was played in Stockholm. Just instead of Break Juno, it's Lucio Kiri. We have a D.Va though on the opposite end with a Sim, so those D.Va can kind of eat the bullets from the Malga, with Sim kind of being able to beam him down, and Malga doesn't definitely want to face tank that if all is possible, so they're definitely gonna have to watch for that.
On to the point is the first contest, and in comes the slam, and down goes the Sim Metro player. Immediately, down goes Ronan now, after the D.Va loses back, and Francie loses their life to Nightmare. And that is the clear out. Going on board with the Mago player here. Nick, thoughts on that first team fight?
quick engaged by Talon. They were able to kind of get an early, early pick and able to kind of snowball off that. And looks like cool. I'll just say Keiser, just so I don't have to keep saying cool. Keiser is going to be making the swap over the Malga, and so it looks like we're going to have to be running a Malga mirror here, just with 2 different comp sets.
Again, Karki's getting the first elimination onto the Sim yet again. And look at this aggression here from Talon. Pushing them basically to the dropship. And the spawn doors will go external as we look at the positioning here. Look at the positioning. Here comes the cage. Double Mauga in there for Team Talon. Follow-up is definitely there in the bonuses. Down goes a double kill. And the team kill goes through.
Cage and copy popped by Talon, but they still have 3 ults here in the bank ready and coming up. But Keiser will also have a Crusade Rush in response with the help of a Sim wall, but it doesn't look like that's going to matter.
The Sim is down again first. Tennis does spawn dolls. Ronan spins to win, gets no value out of the Death Blossom.
Wall probably walk up, but Car is going to end up going for another stomp.
Alpha goes down though in the midst of it to a double team in the backline. There is a Mauga and a Kiriko that is on this point.
Edric managed to run to point and get that swap, and so it looks like they'll be holding on just for a little longer, but it's a matter of how long they can run.
And comes the Gage! Death Blossom on top! Collects both supports for Talon.
Yeah. So that was pretty much a full, alt dump fight, as generally the ultimate advantage you'd say is more in Talon's favor, but Keiser do have this nano boost, and depending on who they want to nano, if the Sim gets a full charge beam, a nano Sim could be quite scary. Or potentially, if the Malgo rushes in and goes for the engage and gets low, the nano is there to help kind of bail him out. But Talon looks like...
Onto the point. Slowly wrapping round.
Adaptive
Echo
circuits
in.
engaged.
Top hits to Anna out of all people. Anti-nade hits too.
Vector Del with a quick rush.
The Lucio kills too, by the way, in the midst of all that.
And that'll be a fight win here for Talon, and that will be the first sub-map here on Lijiang Tower.
And spin to win. A happy Blossom to celebrate the win of that first map, sub-map for the favour of Talon. Nick, thoughts?
Ready for battle.
Pretty decisive win, I'd say, for Talon there. Though I'd say Keiser was able to get the swap and actually make it last and actually eventually get a team fight win. They just kind of ran too many ults there on that one fight, and their ult bank generally just goes in shambles.
I want to acknowledge this team comp here from Keiser. This looks like an interesting comp. If this is what they come out with from the gates...
Well, right now, what it looks like, so Talon's going to be running their ball comp that they've been running with the Echo ball frontline with the core being Soj, Ana, and Zen. And looks like it will be running out here what Keiser is going to be running, possibly wanting to pocket the Venture, or no, bringing out the Ana. So it looks like it's just going to be a change on the DPS and the tank
CP
front.
onto point already for Keiser. Ronan going down to the stuff of HP, has to play safe there. Zen of Alpha is caught out. Able to rotate down.
If you notice, Talon's playing like two angles here, forcing Keiser to have to look two ways, and right now they ended up, Keiser decides to commit onto the two-man squad.
Nightmare and Kyria was looking at the other fight, and the main fight did take out two members of Keiser, so there is a man difference here in favour for Talon. Now they are 5-man squad again. Both teams up until fortunately both tanks go down.
Drill Dash, played by Fancy on the Venture, ends up punting car keys off the map, and unfortunately their slam just ends up going into the pit.
On board here with the Echo player. Lovely anti-nade, lovely sleep dart. That is that Venture going back to spawn via express route. It goes to Sam, it goes to Focus. Anti-nade comes out, hits free. And again, as he's explained, this dual prong layout here for Talon. Kake's in the back line looking for any engage here for roll through. There goes the roll through, hits the Kiriko. Follow up is there. Go on board with Sojo and play over to throw them. Getting close to this overclock here.
They're on the objective. Move in.
Point please. There goes the triple kill in Vivo car keys. First the Venture, down goes Diana, down goes the Sim. The ball gain a 4-piece there, as they also take care of the Zarya from Keiser University. Nick.
Looks like though one ult committed, being the minefield, but it looks like it's going to be about 4 ultimates with one very close target shot for Keiser with 4 ults here on the way up to Talon. So it's going to be a matter of how these teams want to play their ults. The Sim is going to be on point and see him open up this fight. With the wall.
This ends now.
Popped.
Duplicating Venture.
Overclock only gets to the Venture, but that was all it needed to do. Let's get one.
Yeah. Though Talon do use 3 ults in terms of 2. They win the fight, but those ults might have been a bit unnecessary.
I want to acknowledge that there was an attempt of a Graviton Surge there. It did get shut down.
Score.
Mid-cast, I believe that was. Nick, thoughts?
Talon just look to be in a little more better communication. They look to be kind of executing their dives of what they want to be doing, and the core just looks to be staying alive, which is kind of the whole point of this comp. Is generally the front line wants to be taking hits, potentially isolate out a player and get a pick, while the core just looks to live and help support the front line.
And Kalaki's again looking at very quickly this tab here. Look at the ball stats here for Kaki's 34 eliminations to 2 deaths.
Well, they were also playing Malga the first point, but it looks like we're going to be running the bulk comp here on Night Market, and it looks like Keiser is going to be swapping it up, going to a Winston-style kind of front line with a Tracer, with still the Kiriko Ana and a Torb. Stop the ball, I guess?
Sees the Torbjorn, does not want to play ball with that. He goes to roll over through again. Tracer gets hit and singled out. Beautiful play there from the forward player. Power driver connects with all 4 members that lift. Down goes for Torbjorn into the pit.
And I just want to point out that Kyria hit a nasty-ass sleep dart that ends up catching out Edric, and ends up he gets swept into the pit.
100%. Ball here for Karkis with a minefield in hand. Only the first ult this round for this sub-map available. Gets the Hannah, no sleep dart on. in effect here now. Getting a lot of damage here. He's going now.
Looks like an off-angle duel in the side room. Ronan ends up getting a Chucker kill on Fancy, and it looks like right now, firmly holding control is going to be Talon.
100%. In comes the support to car keys that they are definitely in need of. Immediately getting a lot of healing here from Kyria. Just sitting.
Fancy though's looking to take the off angle here, possibly catch out the team, but unfortunately the rest of the team walks with Fancy, and now Fancy's kind of caught out.
Save on to car keys. Another HP waves due to the fact that there is just all the follow-up that is needed. Unfortunately, Ronan does go down to post bomb in the meantime. Lovely ball tag there from Karkis to get onto the Torbjorn. It's already up to 2 fights now available for Keiser to even get 8 points off.
Looks like they will be trying to make the swap. Make the flip here.
This ends now.
Molten Core goes for nothing. Primal pop by Edric. Trying to keep the point alive, but unfortunately they're unable to. Talon end up taking all 3 maps and end up taking Li Jiang. As I want to point out, there was only, what is it, 9 deaths on the side of Talon comparatively to about 55 deaths on the side of Keiser. If my math is correct. My math is not correct. Hold up. Math is not correct. No, it's like 65 deaths. My bad. I missed one. I missed a 10.
Very strong look there from Talon on that on the sub maps for Li Jiang Tower, and we will throw the questions to the chat, both on stream and in the chat on Discord. Guys, any thoughts and feelings and any notes that you want to make on that Li Jiang Tower? We are going to take requests for voice as well as text chat. So, also, if people are watching over on YouTube and Twitch, please let us know your thoughts on the whole matter as well.
Also, for those who are on Steam, Summer Sale is on now. So, if you want to get games on discount, now's the time.
Talon are scary good. Yep, 100%. Looked so dominant.
I think they generally just were kind of coordinating better. They looked to kind of be, they knew what they wanted to run and they were running it.
100%, I have to agree with you there. Not a lot of times did they slow down with that. That's why I want a free map win. True, it is a scrim, so they play...
Well, 5 or 6 maps, all depending, so...
Yeah. Free maps. Or win. Baron?
But also, some exciting news, I am now part of the media operations as a caster and content creator. So, yeah. I will help be casting scrims and matches, as well as I'll just be playing games and stuff like that.
Keiser University choose King's Row here.
Such a great map. King's Row, obviously, one of the best maps in the game. Not much change over the years. It's pretty much stayed how it has been.
Yeah.
Because it's a very popular map. A good 3-lane design, good open areas, good chokes.
If you're
Good for pretty
Kaiser,
much almost any playstyle.
if you're Kaiser University, where exactly? What is your plan here? They.
I think your plan is to they likely want to be banning a lot. But it looks like they're gonna give Talon the first ban, and so it looks like Talon will end up banning the Diva. So likely to stop high ground contestants. They know that Edric did play that character quite a bit in the first map on. And so we'll get to see potentially what is going to be ran out here on what you know.
Yeah, 100%. Diva coming in for a ban from side of Talon, as you alluded to. Cedric looking very dominant on that Diva for that first part. But
And if they're playing how Faceit and OWCS rules work, for those who aren't quite as familiar with the ban rules, you are allowed to ban one role. Once that role has been banned, you have to pick another role. So, for example, as Talon has banned the Diva, Keiser is unable to ban another tank, so they have to pick either a DPS or a support.
do
The same
have
hero.
a swap here, by the way. Running out, Ace of Base in.
Yes, but it depends on if they're going to be playing with that system. Obviously, I think they just want to ban out the ball. They were just upset with the ball. But
yeah, the Wrecking Ball ban does come through from the side of Kaiser.
Yeah, it looks like they'll just be playing with they'll ban whatever. But also another rule, usually in stuff, if they were to do Faceit or OWCS, once a hero gets banned by one team, that team can't ban it for the rest of the game, but the other team could ban it if they wanted to. So say, as right now, is Keiser is banning Ball, if Talon ever wanted to ban Ball, they still could. But, obviously, why would they want to? Anyway.
Okay.
Are you taking the King's Row, or am I taking
You take
the King's
it,
Row?
Victor.
Okay,
All I'm just going to
perfect.
say is, looking at where Talon have already set up, they are looking at low ground only. But go ahead.
Yeah, looks like they'll be wanting. Yes, looks like they'll be wanting to play the Brawl Camp here. Looks like a Ramattra style Brawl Camp with a Reaper with a Brig Juno backline. A good. One thing I love the addition of Juno though is it makes like very like unique backlines. You're usually seeing Brig get played a lot more in brawl comps, and it's very interesting if you want to play kind of a style of rush. You either play like the Brig Juno or you play something like the Lucio Kyrie. It's always fun to watch. And so we got Winston style dive here from Keiser, but with a Zen Kyrie backline. Very aggressive style double flex backline. Usually there to pick off angles, they tend to play away from each other, and they're looking to get value off of doing as much damage as possible. The one issue with that backline is it's very much easily able to get ran over either by dives or an aggressive rush. So we'll kind of see what they want to do here, as it looks like Talon's just going to be playing here just in the opening choke. Looks like they'll just be poking it out a little bit, looking for any opportunity in the match. As it looks like Edric is a DPS player, not the tank player, so it looks like they'll be playing on Genji as they try to dive in on Kyria, but unfortunately Gil just gets absolutely annihilated here by just a focus fire from Talon. And it looks like that'll have to force Keiser to have to back up, but they're going to at least try to see if they can possibly get out of trade as they back up, but unfortunately unable to. Talon's going to keep holding this choke strong over 30 seconds in as Gil on the Winston returns and is just going to try to poke out Nightmare here on the Mei and just kind of look for any value, but unfortunately drops down, has to has to hop back to their team and pop a bubble just to live. Edric here holding the banister here on Hotel, trying to see if they can get an opening pick, but you have Talon watching that as Victor is kind of keeping his shield up, and looks like the Talon backline's going to back up in Hotel. Gil hops in, seeing if he can get cut off car keys from the rest of their support, but unfortunately unable to do so, as Ace provides the additional pressure, and just Gil melts again. And it looks like it's just going to be a snowball effect here for Talon, as the rest of Keiser just get ran over as they're running back to spawn. Edric is able to escape after the wall gets put up in front of the door.
I want to also say something about that first team fight. The Kiri uses the teleport Swift Step very early in the fight to teleport to their Winston to give them assistance. In comes a Roadhog. Take it again.
Yeah. Roadhog here, interesting pick here, possibly trying to catch out maybe the Juno here, or the Brig, see if they can get an opening pick, but unfortunately, it goes the opposite way, as Nightmare is able to take out Fancy. 2 ults ready to go here for the side of Keiser, as Alpha pops the rally. Kitsune rush in response, but unfortunately, Rox goes down, and Tarky's just gonna start going forward as the Ram. Edric trying to look for a trade, but unfortunately unable to. Kitsune rush ended up being popped by Keiser. Unfortunately, they're going to have to reset here, as only the rally in response. 4 ults here for Talon, with 3 ults here on the side of Keiser. They're going to look for a reset, minute and a half left to go. 0 progress here on this point. Looks like they're still going to be forcing the choke, as Gil fishes for a hook. Unfortunately, unable to get it. Looks like they're trying to go for Kyria here on the Juno, but playing safe. Orbital popped in. Are they going to get aggressive? And it looks like they are going to get a little aggressive. Fancy over here on the Junkrat. Ace, though, picks out 2. And it looks like Talon's going to just keep running forward, and they're going to just keep running into Keiser as they win another team fight with 1 ult committed in that orbital ray. Transcendence and a Blade here for Keiser, as they're going to be looking here to likely get some sort of value, but they might be worried about the freeze and or the Death Blossom. Edric here on the off, trying to see if they can catch Nightmare, but unfortunately Nightmare is watching. Kyria finishes off Edric, and unfortunately another 4v5 here for Keiser, as Talon runs in with the Death Blossom ring, and they are able to pick up Rox and Gil, as now Keiser is having to reset by spawn again. At 30 seconds left to go. Kaiser's just looking for anything here, as Fancy now goes over the Mei. They are just playing hero roulette at this point. Victor has almost built up another rally here. Nightmare and Car still holding on to their ultimates, probably just wanting to just hold it for the last little bit. Will we see? But a Transcendence here in response by Ugly is their name with a 6. Blade, but a rally in response ends up saving out. Oh, almost saves out Kyria, but unfortunately they are just unable to take the points. But due to scrim rules, they are setting the map to 3, so Talon will have the chance to just full complete the map if they choose.
It's interesting to see that happen. The aggression and the decision making from Talon to be so reserved with their ult bank. As we watched that happen, we watched from Ace's point of view for a little bit. I just want to point out, as he was focusing the Roadhog, sees the low support, flicks to the low support, gets the Death Blossom online. But Nick, we go back to you for your views and your commentation on this defense line.
So it looks like Keiser is going to be running here out of Marissa May with a Mercy Soldier Ana. So it looks like possibly a Soldier pocket here, probably trying to do as much damage as possible, not allow Talon to run through. Both walls pop. Fortunately, in brawly situations, Gil gets very low, and Ugly ends up getting picked off as a Mercy. And Rox, though, takes out Victor on the way out. Unfortunately, Bass is going to be running in, but Edric on this off angle on the Soldier ends up managing to catch out Bass. And now they're just going to be kind of sitting here on the high ground, but unfortunately they're going to have to run away and get a pack. The rest, they're by themselves without the rest of their team. One issue with Mercy is she doesn't, provide a lot of value besides that damage boost. No speed, no extra utility, just some damage boost. And she really doesn't have any way to kind of defend herself other than her movement. and not really a good amount of damage to speak of that other supports can do. Talon's gonna keep running this Ramatra-based composition, and they will take the first point very quickly indeed. 5.5 to go to take out second. Star will push out forward, opening it up, and Gil is gonna see if they can catch out fast, but it ends up deciding to change their mind. 2 picks here for the side of Talon, and Carr's gonna keep running it down mid as they manage to get another teamfight win and end up staggering out Gil here a little bit. Idric's gonna be making the swap over the Genji. Soldier is not bad as a character per se. He's not the worst DPS in the game, but the unfortunate thing is there's just way better options, such as the Ashe and or the Soj. If Soldier gets ran on, he tends to kind of cripple because he has no really way to defend himself with no potential burst damage other than his Helix Rocket. Karki's going to hold close here by this second checkpoint, and the bow is going to start backing up. But gets walled off, though a freeze here, popped by Nightmare. Doesn't manage to catch anybody though, as Ugly's kind of left here up on the roof of first spawn, but gets away. Though Fancy and Edric, both DPS here, taken out. We have Victor here playing Little Princess, as Kyria ends up taking out their support counterpart, and Gil is just left by themselves. Terra Surge popped as a last-ditch effort to possibly live there, but unfortunately just unable to get any value there. 3 ults coming up here on Keiser, with 4 coming up, 2 ready and 2 coming up here on the side of Talon. As we reach the second point. 5:30 is still about to go. Any side comments from you, Steve?
Edric goes down, but arrests out. Annihilation and rally on top of the whole team of Keiser there.
But Fancy does manage to get the freeze that sort of splits out Talon here. They manage to get a couple trades, but it looks like still Talon is firmly in control.
Kill the Bill gets knocked by the rally whip shot into the void. Oh.
And that's the value of Brig. She tends to be a stone shield on support. You could call her the tank support, so to speak, as she is one of the tankier supports in the game, especially with her ultimate. She's a really hard support to nail down, especially when able to actually be able to move, and so supports like Juno kind of make up for Brig's weaknesses of slow speed and lack of range. Junker Queen here.
Major Blossom!
And just get 2 and actually takes out Gale here on the Junker Queen, as it looks like that will be the end of this map, as Talon managed to just steamroll through this. 4:10 to finish.
Complete.
Now Talon on 2-0 here. A healthy lead as we watch this final play again from Ace of Base's POV. In we go, here comes some beautiful Death Blossom, hits the Mercy.
Yeah. Bass definitely managed to get it. He definitely managed to get that Death Blossom, as Death Blossom is a decent ultimate, though it tends to be very predictable, especially when a Reapers have to generally be unpredictable with their ults, though, so they either have to sneak around or just drop in from the top rope.
100%.
Though so a Sleep Dart or some sort of bash and or CC can kind of cancel it. So like Rock Spear, Whip Shot, I'd say a little bit, not really, but like a Brig Rally Bash, for example, or a Sleep Dart. A Boop also can kind of keep the ult away, so you generally have to kind of play around and keep your Reaper kind of safe. But it looks like we'll be going here to the new map here on... going to Atlas here.
It's interesting, before we go fully, hopefully, into Atlas, I want to get our chat's point of view from and thoughts on that King's Row, and we're going to start opening up the votes and the thoughts for the player of the match. Obviously, unless Ace of Bass stays in, he will not be eligible to...
well, we've only played 2 maps, keep that in mind, so...
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much. And it looks like Keiser will be banning out the Ram now. It looks like they're really trying to target out 4J, aka Karkis, aka Orbicular. But he could just go back to the ball. Like,
Yeah.
but the thing with Atlas, though, it's a very close quarters map, and so ball doesn't exactly have a lot of room to work with. And so I wouldn't expect, at least from the limited amount of times I've played this map, ball just doesn't seem like he'd be a character you'd want to play on this map, based off the fact that you know, it's very tight, it's very close quarters, and I don't know exactly what you gain from running the ball.
When it goes to comp, when a lot of teams for comp matches are playing this map, they are choosing either a Rissa, a Sigma, or a Reinhardt.
Generally, this map feels like a brawl style map,
Yeah.
and so it looks like it's going to be Curie ban here for Talon, and so it looks like they're possibly wanting to make sure that. Well, I think right now, Talon can kind of just ban whoever at this point. Like, I definitely not sure where their bans exactly are going to be targeted, but looks like they want to target the backline here, and we're going to the new map, aka Atlas, based in Morocco.
100%.
As we're Ronin back in as well.
Yep, I was going to say, Ronin back in over Ace of Base as well here. Interesting the fact that we have this composition as well being shown from both sides, and since it is Flashpoint, you want to have your team composition sorted out before these doors open. It looks to be a queen, Junker Queen from both sides, by the way, for the tank player.
But nah, looks like Card wants to go back to the ball. Gonna likely to try to prove me wrong here and saying ball can work on this map, but I guess we'll see.
Very pretty card, very pretty.
Oh, yes, but no, looks like back to the queen. But I would just want to point out the backline here for Talon here being both a main support backline in the Brig and Lucio. Not
Very
high
aggressive,
sustain, but
very fast.
not exactly the highest sustained backline, but both have decent get off me tools and are very defensible.
As I said, very aggressive, very fast backline here for the side of Talon.
Yeah, Mortar Juno here,
slightly
Mortar
slower
Juno.
backline.
Honestly, well, I'd say the more mobile backline, honestly, overall, is actually Keiser's. They have two characters with better movement abilities. As I say, though, Victor does get a pick on the Edric as we continue on to this first point. Steve, you're good. Go ahead.
Yep, Edric down first of all. The fight on the main point. Down goes Gil to the Gracie. Down goes the rest of the team. Support's being bloodthirsty there. Alpha getting their hands in 3 of those kills, just for reference, for that first point on this
Also,
area.
I just want to point out the skin that Kyria is running. I do not like that Brig skin. I hate that Brig skin. It's especially with how like Brig looks. She looks like she's meant to be more muscular. My God, they messed up Brig's legs so bad. My girl's legs, man, I hate them. I hate them. I hate it.
I just want to know the change here. Talon sitting on the low ground. Down goes Gil to Nightmare and the rest of the team. Again, the bloodthirsty Lucio getting their hands in. Going on board very quickly with Alpha actually. Looking for anything, but it goes down. Edric getting that kill after killing Ronan. Caster Curse being in full effect there.
This music stops for no one.
It's like first point will be taken here by Talon, and they will have ult secure coming up. Pulse Bomb connects with Fancy.
As you said, Pulse Bomb connects with Fancy. Fancy already resurrected it, but Moira, bloodthirsty Lucio, Alpha again getting their hands in the midst there. station now secured, so in comes the aggression into the backline. Down
Pulse
goes
bomb, though.
Superior to Pulse Bomb by Edric.
Pulse bomb for pulse bomb.
Edric kills Vernon,
Nope.
down goes Alpha to Edric as well. Edric in a 3-piece there. Edric does go down, but gets resurrected very quickly.
Car though, living for quite a long time, though it looks like finally Keiser will end up getting a win.
Flashpoint unlocked.
100%. Looking at where Talon are stationed here with the positioning, again, Bloodthirsty Lucio is going to be most likely Bloodthirsty here, very close to beat as well inside of Talon. 10% off from that crucial ultimate that could turn the tides
So
on a
Tarky decides to take a very aggressive fight and actually gets a rampage.
In comes the Carnage, he connects with 2 by the way. Moira goes down to it.
Not even going down to the Carnage, a good boop finish by Victor. So both supports are down on the side of Talon,
Victor
and a response rampage.
connects with 2 again. In comes the Pulse Bomb. No
Though it
effect.
looks like Nightmare was able to rewind it.
Beat out, hits Thrillman, Run goes down. In the meantime, Fancy looking for any percentage here, but on board with the tank of car keys. Gil gets resurrected by the mercy of Ugly.
Both DPS ults here for Talon. No ults here for Keiser, though I must say, that was probably the cleanest fight that Keiser has had so far this scrim. Looks like they're finally kind of starting to figure out what they want to be running, and so let's kind of see if anything manages to change here.
Down to half health goes the tank of car keys here. Letting in onto the 2-man slash with the axe from car keys as well. A lot of self-sustain there. Another carnage here built up. Sorry, rampage with the axe.
But it looks like this will be point here for Talon as they do manage to take it back and hold it here. And they'll just be kind of pushing aggressively, making sure Keiser can't retouch. Or I should say, really contest.
Garden. Next, flashpoint, resort.
Going over to resort now, so other side of the map, they have this wonderful boost pad here that can help them get to point so much quicker. This map, such a beautiful map here as we watch this engagement here. Talon looking to be aggressive, Pulse Bomb in, connects with Kyria.
For second time.
Time for the reckoning!
Rampage.
Rampage in, connects with 3.
Fortunately, no kills found from it. What?
Say that, Gildo's around. Bloodthirsty Lucio with a Gracie on top does mean that a Coalescence is contested here. Tectonic Shock also is in. Down goes the aggressive Lucio player of Alpha though. Nightmare getting the kill onto Fancy in the meantime as well. Valkyrie out! In comes the rally! Bloodthirsty Lucio again boops the Moira off the map, by the way.
Good rally by Kyria to kind of play aggressive and kind of force Keiser to back away. And as I've seen, this is the only main support that Kyria can play is Brig. She's more of a flex support player based off her hero pool. Alpha tends to play up. Alpha tends to be the main support player, but in this instance they decided, like, hey, fuck it, let's run
hits all
double main
5 people of Talon.
And very quick engage too.
Time for
Catches
Out
two
goes the
for a
gun.
rampage.
So Rampage. The Pulse does connect with Ronan, unfortunately, in the meantime. Edric with 2. Gets the Lucio as well. Gets the Brig as well. Edric on 3. In comes another Rampage.
Looks like Car is just going to try to remain on this point as long as they possibly can.
Gil does get resurrected
Victor
though.
in to help. Though, unfortunately, it looks like Alpha wants to take a dip more than actually help his team there on that fight. Unless, unless Car died just before, then I could be wrong. But I don't believe Edric's missed a pulse bomb this map, and it is actually showing. They are 17-4 on their team. Honestly, they're, I'd say, single-handedly helping Keiser actually make this map quite competitive here.
I want to also acknowledge the tank player of Kharki's getting 2 rampages in that last fight. One that he already built up, and then one that he built up during that fight. Fight on point. Played in. Ronan takes care of the ugly. Takes care of Gil as well with the blade, getting a lot of health there as they've taken.
Edric unfortunately missed the pulse, though. Ronan did jump over it, and I was kind of curious: would Ronan die jumping over the pulse bomb? He was just a little too quick, though. That'll be third point.
199 for result. By the way,
I will say though, Keiser is actually looking to kind of improve during this match. Like, they are actually, sure it's a 3-0, but it definitely is a very close 3-0 that we've seen here. I don't think it's been a complete wipe here.
Kharki's getting the ugly as well as Gil there, making sure that the Mercy does not have a chance to resurrect the tank player before this flashpoint unlocks here. There, ugly up in the sky, looking at where the team of Talon is. Pulse bomb in hand with going to be nightmare here. Looking for it. Sees the Moira, does not think that's a wise arrival. Sees Mercy. That gets taken care of though by the enemy tracer of Edric. Here comes a Rampage, only connects though with Gil. Gil goes down, resurrect out, does cut the tank back up into supply. Edric goes down to the bloodthirsty support of Alpha. Nick.
No. Kind of a suicidal res there, but it ends up working out as Gil is able to pick out Coalescence, pot by rocks, but a good rally bash by Furia.
Pulse bomb connects with the rally bash Venture as well. Venture, no escape there. An aggressive play here. Making sure no attempt here. Up to the spawn doors goes Talon.
That'll be 4th point.
The question is, can they go all 5 points as they head over to Bazaar now? Final point on this flashpoint.
Very similar to point 3. Both small high grounds overlooking the point with an underground staircase.
Broadside of Nightmare to avoid that pulse bomb. But that's taken care of by anyway, Tectonic Shock out and does only connect with Alpha but no confirmations. Played out, connects with 2, gets confirmation onto Fancy's Venture. Edric having to run away like a cat with its tail between its legs.
You can't kill a god!
Kind of far pick by Fancy, trying to kind of probably stay out of the range of the DPS that Talon is running. Generally, not much can hit Fancy up in the Pharah, but obviously that if the Pharah stays in the air long enough.
Move onto the side, I believe. There's connect with the no confirmation there. Alpha again being this aggressive Lucio player. Unfortunately, does go down after the team does fall.
Looks like they'll just try to get a reset, but unfortunately, Kyria's kind of left on her own. Four ults for Talon, 3 ults for Keiser. So we'll probably see a very ult-heavy fight unless Talon decides to see if they want to stretch these ults out a little bit. We'll see who commits first, who flinches first, as we get into this next fight here on 5th point.
Time for the reckoning! Time for the reckoning!
On the rampage there for the side of both tanks, actually.
And all ults on the field are popped. It just kind of became one after the other. Like, one team popped an ult, another team popped an ult, and then it just went back and forth, back and forth. Yep. And looks like they'll end up winning the point. Unfortunately, Ugly is just left stranded.
Ugly thought about getting the resurrect mid-fight, then decided, actually, no, probably best not to do that.
Yeah. This will be a very quick recontest, as they have only about another few seconds to try to contest this point.
10 seconds left.
Not even 10 seconds. But they do get the contest.
Justice!
Rajin!
All
Next with Alpha!
1.
Nightmare.
Ronan though following up on Ugly.
Time for
Let's
the
pop out, let's not
reckoning!
connect! Rampage out, connects for free! Does take care of Ugly, by the way, with that Rampage. Dash out for Ronan.
But
Down
doesn't
goes
look like
Ronan,
it
down
managed
goes
to keep
Ronan,
back.
down goes Alpha. Now coming back is going to be the side of Keiser University.
Well, they managed to win a point. And looks like they will. I don't think they'll end up getting the touch. So Keiser does get the final point here on Atlas, but overall, Talon wins the map.
Talon 4-1 there on Atlas. As we watch again, car keys. I believe this will be when they got the second
52 and
rampage,
4
so
by car for elimination to death ratio with 43-6 from Nightmare, though what is it? Edric was actually managing to keep their team in it.
100%. Map choice now here for Keiser University. Chat. Thoughts?
I think it's gonna be an underbound of this, and I could be really good at Colosseum with this extra sleep and range of the heals. But the older one plays support. I haven't seen too much from the Keiser group, so I don't know if any of them's play Anna.
So we're just taking a few moments here, guys, whilst we recollect our thoughts, as well as we wait for the teams to finalise their little break.
Amalga ban.
Amalga ban, indeed.
And looks like Bass is going to be stepping back in as well.
Yep, which means I don't know, because Ronan's and Bass's gameplay are very similar.
Well, Ronan tends, I think, to prefer Soj, whereas Bass tends to prefer Freya, so you can kind of sub them out when the map kind of calls for it. And obviously, both heroes can honestly work really well on this map because of the long sight lines. But I think just with access to high ground a little easier for Freya than it is for Soj. I think that's possibly why they wanted to go Freya on this map. Or they just, you know, subbing in Bass because they're just rotating in and out. My turn, I guess?
Yep. One thing that I want to comment on, first of all, is Edric is hovering over this Tracer pick. Edric on the Atlas map looked very strong on this character. But otherwise, go for it, good sir.
Right. And so it looks like it's going to be another Queen Rush style comp, but this time instead of a break for your other support with the Lucio, it's going to be a Kiri, but looks like Carr is possibly thinking the Ramattra either too. And Nightmare, it looks like they're going to be going to the Echo Reaper DPS line here, and it looks like Keiser's going to be playing Zarya with a Cass, Tracer, and then Mercy, and it looks like Rox hasn't returned yet?
It does look that way.
Oh, yep, they need a pause. Looks like Rox hasn't quite returned yet, so...
Reaper versus Tracer, indeed. It's an interesting mix-up here for this game. As we go to the game on the stream, because I forgot to bring it back.
Looks...
Countdown resume.
Yes, it looks like Rox is ready to go, and so... Fortunately, due to the early start that Talon had. Yep. Talon's going to push in here aggressively onto the stairs, not even before the point locks, and they're just going to be running into the... Just running in straight into Keiser as Rox ends up picking out the Kiri. And there looks like they're just going to run through, take the fight win, get some kills, and looks like... But, who's... Looks like... No. Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, Edric stole the bot, and so is going to get some early card progress to allow their team to actually kind of get back into it, and so Talon's going to have to come back, get this bot, and move it back. Gil's going to be swapping over to the Orisa, because Orisa tends to have a decent duel into a Ramattra. And so, Bass going to be holding close corner near the inside building, but looks like Keiser will be recontesting after choke. Talon going to play near the health pack room. Carr gonna face the tank through the damage. And Bass, fortunately, ends up getting low, having to retreat here. And Carr is having a block in pummel form. We got Ugly pocketing Gil. Trying to keep their team alive, but a focusing beam with the help of Carr ends up taking out Fancy. Though both tanks remain pretty low, and Karki has to back out. He remains super low, but Edric manages to get a kill onto Karki's and the pulse on a Nightmare. But Talon's gonna keep pushing this. They're still gonna take the lead. Keiser without their tank, so they still have a chance, but Edric's still, like, Edric's right now being the heart and soul of his team right now. He or she, I don't know, they, something, but they are the heart and soul of their team right now, and they are actually carrying. But ults here coming up online for Talon, as well as some ults here for Keiser, so we'll probably get here a very scrappy fight as ults pretty much almost all 5 ults here on the side of Talon as Keiser ends up pushing over that goal line of victory, now taking the lead. 3 ults for the size of Keiser, and so we'll see who decides to punch first. Fox pops up as soon as forcing Talon to back up. And a trade here, but a Noon as Fancy walks forward and ends up catching Bass out lacking. Rez gets Edric out and forces out the Annihilation. Carr's gonna end up looking to try to face tank here a lot of the damage and just kind of take space. Though Gil is just going to run into his face and pop that Terra Surge, catching most of Talon, and Bass is just caught and ends up getting finished off by the help of Gil and Rox. As it looks here, Tia does get a pick, and though unfortunately it's not going to make much of a difference as the Pulse Bomb goes off, and it looks like Keiser will end up pushing it with a... Sure, they were down ults, but they ended up making them count as Fancy's going to swap over the Sombra for ults still for the side of Talon, so we're going to see how they want to use them. Checkpoint here, gained by Keiser, so they're going to have that close spawn when they want to end up recontesting if they lose the fight. Talon going to run in quite quick. Speed pop, Beat popped, and they're going to want to get aggressive. Fast pops the Blossom. Fortunately, goes for knock, but Nightmare ends up getting a pick on the rocks, and Fast gets ugly. Both supports out here for Keiser, and it looks like Talon will end up taking this bot away with only Kyria being the only death. 2 ults still for Talon, as their ult bank is not entirely in shambles yet, so they're going to try to likely ration out these ultimates as they push back to mid. How quickly will Keiser be able to recontest? Looks like they'll recontest here at the choke, where the barrier stands. Nightmare, kind of pushing the bot, tries to back out.
They're taking the robot.
Though, unfortunately, Sombra had no use, as Kyria ends up getting it. And now double Kiriko, so 3 supports here on the field for Talon. Fortunately, Nightmare gets taken out of a copy form. And it looks like Nightmare and Karki and Victor are all going to get picks here, as they're going to keep pushing this bot down under the bridge. Almost under the bridge here. And they'll be very close to that checkpoint, looking to tie up this map. Though, Pulse Bomb and a Valk here coming up for Keiser, and so we'll see how they want to utilize these 2 ults. Here is holding the angle, but Fancy ends up getting caught out. Edric's gonna try to contest the point, not allow the lead quite to go there, but unfortunately Pulse Bomb goes wide. The rest of Talon kind of sit defending this point, and it looks like they will, not quite. Gets 3! Huge Terror Surge! Keeps Talon from getting any more of the lead, but Talon was able to get the checkpoint, and so this map is tied. Going in, it looks like there'll be a recontest here on the mid, and Edric's gonna see if they can possibly get this off angle, but they do get spy checked here. Looks like recontest just over the mid fight, over the midpoint, and Bath's gonna be running in, just kind of holding it. Both Kitsune rushes. Fort popped out, but a Valk, extra Valk here, but fortunately Fancy does go down. No other picks yet in this thing, but Rox actually catches out Nightmare. And Edric
Annihilation! Death Blossom on top!
Yeah, looks like Talon decides to force out some, have to kind of play with some ultimates here, try to kind of get the fight back into their favor. And looks like they will end up doing it. Bot still sits though, just behind mid. So it looks like Alpha's gonna go and collect the point, though Fast does remain low. Gonna back up to his Lucio for the heals, as Talon's gonna end up pushing the spot some more, but looks like Keiser will have a recontest here, as the bot's just gonna kind of sit in the choke.
I want to casually note that during that main fight, the Lucio gets a 2-piece. Beat out, connects with all 5 members, I believe that was.
Yep. Good beat. Doesn't last too long, but it is enough to get a pick onto Kaiser's tank. Nightmare is gonna get the copy now onto the cast, trying to take out Rox. Rox manages TP away, and now the lead is gained by Talon, as they'll be rounding the hill corner and looking to possibly gain a little more distance. They'll just be poking out here on the bridge, not wanting Keiser to likely get close into a brawl situation. Nightmare, though, checks out Edric, and Edric, unfortunately, is going to be going down here. Edric, though, 17-5 for their team. They're just honestly carrying their team right now. But Rox
doesn't connect,
unfortunately doesn't. It does connect, but unfortunately a good well-timed Suzu by Kyria does manage to actually save the team, and Karki's gonna just run it down straight down mid. Edric does manage to back away. And yeah, no, Rox and Edric both kinda playing their team right now. Like, Rox has gotten quite a few picks here, kind of helping out. 123 meters to go, final home stretch near that final point, but it looks like Talon's just going to want to hold the stair corner, not want to fully commit, as they are lacking ultimates. Though it doesn't look like Karki cares. He's going to pop that. He's going to pop that annihilation, and Fancy gets no use here out of the high noon, and it looks like just Talon's going to end up running it down. Almost no players remaining here for Keiser, though Edric does get a pick onto Kyria, but Nightmare's going to keep pushing the spot with Bass. Fancy swaps over the Reaper, looking for a chance to help contest. Kitsune rush popped by Rox to get out of their spawn.
Ace, I was trying to utilize the Death Blossom, but it gets shut down though. It
gets shut down by the Spear of the Orisa. If we look at the perks here,
Adaptive circuits engaged. Mercy.
obviously the spear perk popped by the Orisa for the extra charge to help it go longer
Rush
as a
out!
projectile. A rush here popped by Talon, ends up catching out Volt 3 members as Bass gets a 3-piece. Edric, though, is going to catch out Kyria and actually going to allow this bot to walk away a little bit. Though Rox does get taken out by Victor, point isn't quite capped yet for Talon as we enter the final minute of this round. No ults, though a very close beat, followed by an Annihilation for Talon, with a close Valk and then a Terror Surge for Keiser. Though it looks like Talon is going to want to back off the point in the final 40 seconds, they generally just don't need to push the bot anymore. They basically now just need to play flawless defense, but it doesn't look like they care about defense too much, as they're going to just go straight balls to the wall. Going in, after the beat is popped. Looking for picks as they catch out Fancy here with Pokey Speed. Hill remains really low, but Ugly remains in the pocket, though unfortunately unable to live as the Valk is popped. And a Pulse goes wide. 15 seconds left to go. I don't know how much push Keiser has left on this push map, but it looks like they will be able to recontest one final time. If they do win this fight, they're going to have to win consecutive fights if they want to end up taking this map, especially having to push it all the way.
Both available here. Terror Surge versus Annihilation.
Edric sits in the back line and, with the help of Rock, ends up catching out Kyria. Terror Surge ends up spacing Talon out away from the bot, though Karki does get his ult off and walks back in. Bass pops the Blossom in behind to try to cut off the rest of Gil from their team, and it looks like this will be a win for Talon, though Ugly does recontest for a split second. Fancy and Edric trying to contest this point, but unfortunately, it might be just too little too late, as unfortunately they're forced off the bot, and Talon is going to end up winning Colosseo.
Full 0 now for Talon. Looking heavily strong, heavily mighty. Chat. Thoughts? As we watch there, the triple kill from that Orisa. Beautiful
Actually became a quad piece.
Rarely do you see Terror Surge get so much value outside of a scrim or outside of quick play, but the tank there of Gil making that last and making it very acceptable. Karki's carries for Talon. Yeah, definitely.
But while we get to this next one, I want to promote a project I've been doing. So, back in July, late July of 2023, I started a project in Overwatch, excuse me, to get a quad feed with every hero in the game and make a video out of it. So basically the rules for it is the quad has to be, quad or 5k, has to fit within a play of the game. It can't be a kill on any kind of consumable type item, such as turrets or bob, or even a pylon. And essentially, every hero has to have at least one, and I will cobble it together in a video. If I have more plays than one, I'll sort through the best of the best and put them in the video. I am lacking a few heroes here. I am lacking Soj, Sombra, Freya, though a friend did get Soj, but it wasn't quite on screen. I don't believe they were. I think it was just slightly off. So, Soj, Sombra, Freya, Ana, Baptiste, Kiriko, Lifeweaver, and Lucio. I am in need of those, so if you've got clips, send them my way. If you've got Nitro, send them my way. Shoot me a DM, because I will put your play into the video, and I will shout you out. So, that's my own kind of passion project. It's been a while, so it's almost been 2 years trying to do this, with also the new heroes getting released, so yeah. back to our regularly scheduled programming, to Route 66.
Tracer for Keiser was good at the start of Coloseo. Yep, I completely agree. Started getting some good kills at the end, but can't really do much. Yeah, they did get singled out a lot in mid fights. If they tried doing stuff by themselves, but they dove with their team, that's when the whole element came together. It's a base back out, running back in as well for this 66. I believe we're just waiting on bans here. It's going to be the Tracer ban and the Ram ban here for 66. Nick, your thoughts?
Well, Route 66 tends to play a lot divier, especially first and second point, because of the abundance of high ground positions on this map. Maybe third point, but even then, that's still kind of divey. Even with the indoor section, there's still plenty of high ground, so I'm not sure about the Ram ban here, especially. I feel like potentially taking out one of, like, even the Echo, maybe, would have been a bit better, considering... but... Tracer for the side of Talon makes sense. Again, more of a dive hero for this map, and so sure, it's got high grounds, but it's also a lot flatter as well. So, but even then, I'm not sure about the Ram ban, as it looks like Talon is going to be running out on their dive comp, whereas Keiser is going to be running a Rhine comp, a Rhine Rush comp.
Yeah, I was about to say about this. Kaiser currently hovering over the Rhine Rush with a Torbjorn in tow.
I believe Rox is a sport player, so I don't believe they'll stay on the Torb. But we'll kind of see what they want to play.
5, 4, 3.
So whilst we're waiting for...
Looks like they kind of want to play more of a poke style backline, it looks like, with a Malari.
100%, although we're now looking at a Baptiste now, so who knows what we're going to actually truly get. Edric looking strong on the Tracer. No longer this round can they run the Tracer, so back over to Genji, as we are currently looking at a Widowmaker here for Fancy.
It's like they're still kind of deciding what they want to run here. Looks like they're still kind of waiting for Nightmare to get back. I'm assuming it was some sort of emergency type thing, or emergency bathroom break or something.
Yep. So
when you gotta go, you gotta go. So
100%. Again, poke elements on both teams from the looks of it.
it looks like they'll
As we
just
do
end up
have
pausing the map.
fourth.
Looks like they'll just end up pausing the map since Nightmare isn't going to be back for a little bit.
Yep. So we'll be momentarily BRB.
Oh, possibly a DC, not... Oh, it doesn't look like anybody paused. It looks like it just kind of auto-paused. So Nightmare's back on that Echo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
Very divey line here, as opposed to this very brawly composition here. Right up onto the high ground already, looking for the backline of Talon here. Oh, no, the
That's
Echo!
melted.
And the ball!
Zen Ball Echo is not, with an Ana, is not a great combination.
Here comes the dive into the Baptiste. Does utilise the immortality lamp. Lamp already down to Alpha's Zenyatta. Right now onto full. Edrake gets the kill onto his car keys though.
Now you see me?
Looks as though Keiser will end up getting a push here around the bridge, and looks like it'll force Talon back here to hold the gas station. Victor, though, playing back near the stalagmite. Because I believe stalagmites are on the ground.
Fancy in the back line. In comes the second pin. In comes the pin onto the ball, but the file driver already does its job. Down goes Rocks to a charged up shot from Ronan. Down goes Edrake, but Fancy does come back and does take care of car keys in the meantime. Reinhardt in, down to 7 page 3, no charge in, does only connect with the car. Fancy down goes Ugly as well, but Edrake gets the grenade kill onto poor Kyria. Gil goes down, followed very closely by Rocks, running going to follow up onto that Baptiste. Nick?
Yeah, no.
Hello.
This dive comp is just really mean. I've yet to see any like team they've scrimmed against actually to be able to solve this dive style comp. This dive style ball comp.
Yeah, it goes to Sojourn. And down goes their life. Sorry for gutting in, but here comes a minefield early. Down goes Ugly. Down goes Rock. Coffee onto the ball. Fortunately not able to get much done, and there goes the follow-up. Focusing beam plus a charged up shot from Rowan.
So Kyria is the one to go down as well after the ball Echo, and now Sombra pulled out. Yeah, no.
Shut up!
This ends
Connects
now.
with only car keys.
This ends.
But Ronin gets shut down on the opposing overclock. As both Sojourns have picked that overclock perk, allowing for a 150 rail whenever in the overclock ult.
Now this out.
So it looks like Kaiser's gonna be swapping to a bit more dive characters with like a Winston Sombra. Probably trying to see if they can catch the back line.
Anti-nade onto the Winston. Beautiful follow-ups. Fancy goes down after the Winston of Guild goes down. Followed very closely by the looks of it. Yes, Burp goes down as I'm just mentioning it. OT bleeds away. Just found first corner is where that little cart is going to stay. Nick.
Yeah, no. It looked as though Keiser was kind of trying to see if they could figure out this ball comp, making swaps over to the Winston, to the Sombra, trying to just see what they could possibly do. Unfortunately, just unable to get any more value. And it looks like they'll be stopped short here of first point. 65, just over 65 meters, and Talon will now get their shot at an attack phase.
Yeah, just around the second band correction is the golden box of victory. Due to this being in screen code, though, they are going to have to play all of the 3 points if they want to get the confirmation on the win. Most of the times, sometimes though, on a escort map like this, it will say draw, even though the one team has clearly won.
It's all about
5, 4, 3, 2.
Up on this high ground defense here with a Roadhog. Can I just
Roadhog, Nay, Kiri, Alari, and Ash. So
Kaki's
possibly trying to see,
looking for
possibly trying to hook the ball. Probably trying to hook the ball in, see if they can stop the momentum. But what we've seen from 4J is that they are a very decent ball players, so they probably won't stick around the hog for long.
Anti-nade out onto the Roadhog, making his life known. Again, another Bio-nade hits the Roadhog. Kyria getting these lovely nades. There goes another nade.
Hello.
Free for
And that
free.
And that just looks like it will be technical map win for Talon, but again, they will have to finish the map through the scrim code.
100% Kyria getting 3 out of 3, I believe. Grenades onto that Roadhog.
Malga now grabbed by Gil the Bill.
Very interesting that, and that is confirmation that it is now a 5-0 for the side of Talon here. As we're talking about this, I saw Kyria get a 3-man Bio-nade with the anti-nade. Gil gets taken care of by...
Kyria, though, remaining in trouble, but Kyria actually gets a sleep dart onto Gil and actually manages to live, with Ugly really trying to breathe down their neck. They're really trying to focus Kyria out here, knowing that she's been an issue with these nades.
Gil goes down to another sleep dart. Again, the Ana player being such a menace here. Going on board with the tank as they be aggressive to this. Gil.
4.5 to go. On second point. Got Kyria pushing payload. Because at the end of the day, Soj, Ana, and Zen all kind of have to play safe. They can all take off angles, but they generally kind of want to play safer than the Echo and the ball.
None of this here available for Kyria on board with the Ana player, in fact. Hits in all the sleep darts that you need to, hit in all the grenades that they need to.
Payload mobilizing. It's go time.
Here goes the little pop. Lovely Bio-nade there, lands on the head of Ugly. Follow up onto Gil from the Ana player, 2 T's from the Ana there. That is just point D already captured. Now just under 5 minutes on the clock for side of Talon to make it go to all 3 points. Nick.
You know, 4 ults here for the set of Talon with 2
Nice work,
and then 1 close up for Keiser, but right now they just have no answer to this ball comp. I'd be really interested to see a...
Sleep that again onto the Roadhog as well.
Karki's just tearing up the back line right now.
Got you.
Capabilities maxed.
Up on the high ground goes the Sojourn and the Ana.
Open fire.
By then comes out, hits onto Ugly. No,
Tap the sun.
them with the...
Nope,
Same
Sun
dot.
catches 2. Sun catches 2 though.
Yep.
Catches both Ronin and Kyria.
Looking now at
Let's
this position in here, Kalki's going down to half health, going down to 7 health, but takes go fancy with the assistance of Nightmare, so Nightmare gets 2. Both ball shot here, available for the Freya does go out. Don't know who that connected onto. Out comes the EMP, out comes the rush, out comes the transcendence.
Just a huge ultimate fight. And it looks like Talon will just decide to back off here, though Ronin can't escape due to Hog's hook. But it looks like a fight win finally for Keiser right here at the last little stretch of point 3 or checkpoint C3, whatever you want to call it. A long week.
Yep, 100%. Just stopped before C there, but still just under 3 minutes left on the clock for Talon to recontest it. Already on to this high ground is going to be Kalki's. Kalki's does get hacked, but already the backup for the...
Oh, a shut down on the Bola. And a sleep onto Gil while they're ulting.
Also, anti-nade onto the Roadhog yet again. Kyria, I believe that's 6 for 6 now on the Roadhog. Down goes Ronan eventually, but down goes the majority of the team of the Keiser University. Just gonna be the Roadhog on point here.
Oh, a good sleep by Kyria, unfortunately unable to go catch Fancy, because Edric does pick her up on Genji.
Minefield, out comes the Transcendence and make sure the ball doesn't die, out comes the Overclock as well on top. Into the mine goes 3 members of Keiser University.
There's no way this map has not finished yet.
Down to 1 minute on the clock now for Talon. Genji duplication now. There's
And finally,
finalization. 5-0. Team Talon.
Keiser though, like a fantastic last desperate defense. They were stalling for so long, actually managing to find trade. Sure, they didn't win the long, drawn-out team fights, but they definitely were winning mini fights in there, stalling it out, forcing Talon to have to kind of rethink of how they wanted to engage the fight.
And as we're brought back to lobby, I believe that is going to be it, and that is it to be exact. Team Talon
For
win
this.
5-0.
But again, it's a scrim. We're just both teams do it for the practice, but at the same time, it just can't feel good for Keiser as they got kind of blown out, and so unfortunately, they just kind of just an unfortunate, circumstance. They'll have to go back to the drawing board, kind of figure this out, whatever they want to do.
100%. And something that I noticed, unfortunately, yes, the drawing board is definitely going to have to be scribbled on a few times to try and combat that ball. They did choose the right character of the Roadhog to attempt to take care of it a lot more than they were, but unfortunately, having a Nana on the enemy team is, having a Nana on the enemy team, especially one as good as Kyria, hitting 6 Bionades on that Route 66, by the way, and so many sleep darts as well on top of that. Nick, final thoughts on the games as a whole, and who, in your
That
opinion,
dive comp is nasty. That dive comp is nasty, man. That dive comp until any team that scrims Talon figures it out, or even in our own team, until some team figures out how to deal with that dive comp, I see no reason to stop running it. It's just been kind of Talon's bread and butter is that ball style dive comp.
in
I
your
think that's
opinion,
where their strongest play lies.
who deserves to play of the match for Team Talon here today?
Uh, I definitely think it should go to car keys. They were definitely following up on a lot of plays that their team was able to make, and also managing to get a lot of good pile drives and or pummels when they were going aggression, showing aggression. And so I think they definitely have earned play of the match, as they were generally just following up on whatever their team could do. They were finishing out what was started. Like, you may not start something, but you might as well damn finish it, you know?
100%. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Let's see if I can get. 1 second. Let's see if I can get them to join. There we go. Hello,
Hey,
Julian.
hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Hello to 4J.
Hello.
4J, the man of the hour. Look at this guy.
4J, you have been
Yeah.
voted player of the match for this
Wow.
scrim. You have had
That's very
Congrats,
nice.
4J.
You have had a lot of value as of this. Ron, the reason why I've called you here as well is for a post-match interview if you want to just have a quick chat with us.
Absolutely.
Sure, I'm done.
So, you guys, especially your ball comp was very effective, especially in this one. Like, you were able to follow up on a lot of it. Kyria got some really good nades. 4J, you got some really nasty pile drives with the help of Nightmare finishing off your picks, as well of whenever you were able to get the pile drives. Do you guys think that at some point somebody will be able to beat your ball comp? Because right
No.
now, what I've yet to see, no one's been able to beat it so far. Like, people have tried to make swaps and go around, but do you think, like, in my opinion, you guys keep running that until somebody stops you. Even on maps, I'd expect like you probably shouldn't run it. I think for the memes, you run it at some point, just for the memes, for the love of the game, man.
I'll let
But
4J talk first on that one, but I do have an answer for you.
I don't think anyone's beating that anytime soon. It's a very comfortable comp for us, I think. You know, just each individual hero, I think we're pretty comfortable on, and, you know, it's not like we're just running it and then getting complacent. We are improving it with each map that we play at.
Fair enough.
Ronin,
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all characters that we're comfortable on, but the comp has a very targeted purpose, a very specific way to be ran. So far nobody has figured out the way to beat it. Our coaches did tell us the fatal flaw. We know what it is, but we haven't seen teams figure it out yet.
fair enough, fair enough. And I'm sure we'd love for you to tell us what that fatal flaw is, but I think we're just keeping it a little like hush hush under the radar. We're gonna
Secret
wait to
key.
see. We're gonna wait to see if anybody actually manages to figure it out. I'll definitely be curious. I'll definitely be wondering, but I think we're gonna let the audience kind of wonder that for a little bit. But yeah, no, you guys just that ball counts nasty is all I'll
Yeah.
have to say.
100%, I agree with Nick there. Ronan, I know you're co-captain for the side of Talon. Anything that you feel like your team could have done better or different throughout this whole scrim?
Or maybe maybe sometimes we weren't waiting for cooldowns enough to engage. We were a bit early, off on our timings. There was a few ultimates that were wasted too early across the board. I'm not naming any names. The target priority, we can tweak and adjust the comms to be a bit more on our side, less sporadic. But overall, we're like 4J said, we're improving every match. Everything gets sharpened a little more. We're adding a little more, and it refines itself, and we're getting better and faster on the draw. So I'm not concerned about these things.
Fair enough.
4J?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, you asked you a question. I wondered if you wanted to talk
What
about
was
it.
the question?
What do you feel like the team could have done better?
Those guys were kind of plumbers, so I just ran it down and micro diffed them. I think Nightmare should have MVP. I'm just boosted.
I think that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
But yes.
But yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
When it came down to the Atlas map and the final sub area, we noticed that there was a few misplays there. Was that just down to miscommunication or what you already alluded to, Ronan, of cooldown management not being the best?
In my case, we opted to go for a comp that we haven't practiced much, and we just kind of ran with
that's
it.
my bad. I wanted to play something fun and run it down.
Okay. 4J, I also want to just quickly, sorry for cutting you off, Ronan. I can probably talk to you about this a little bit more once we're off the air, but you got a second rampage after already using one rampage at the start of a fight in the same fight. What the heck?
I have too much healing. They can't kill me. After the first point as well.
The aura is just too immense. But I do have a question about especially Atlas. What was your kind of inspiration for running that Queen style comp with a double main support backline? Like, what's the kind of inspiration, especially like banning out what was it, Kiri there on that map?
Yeah.
What's the inspiration behind that?
It's Jotes. It's Jotes.
That was
but we
Jotes
adapted the Tracer
and
in because Sojourn kind of stinks on that map.
and and also I've been putting some time into flex DPS like Genji and Hanzo, and that was a good time to put it to the test a little bit. And we figured that if we're gonna run the GQ with Rampage, we might as well ban the Kiri and kind of put that off the board because we're not gonna use it anyway.
And while you guys did win every map, it does look like Keiser was able to make some maps close, even with it being like a 4-1 on the Atlas map. Like Keiser there, for example, kept it close on points 2 and 3, and even Colosseo was competitive for a time till you guys started kind of snowballing that fight quite a little bit.
Yeah, it's my bad. I had to lock in.
Yeah, but for our opposing team in Keiser, what would you have to kind of give them credit for, and or any advice to their team, sort of?
I think their tank player is really impatient. With both just the time that when he's walking in, he's not waiting for his team to come back. Granted, his team is really slow. No flame, his team is really slow behind him, but like he kind of has to wait for that. Or else
Yeah,
he just gets picked off,
also
and he did. And with his cooldowns as well, he kind of just wastes them too early, I feel like.
I
That's kind of
feel
why I'm
like
just holding life click on him the whole game.
he's also missing a bit of awareness. There was a lot of times where, like 4J said, he was impatient, but also sometimes his team would get rocked by rails or whatever, dove, and the tank would just keep trying to push the point by himself, or just not be aware. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't talked to them about it, but he would just keep trying to run that payload and just get obliterated. Um, the other thing is, I found the constant mercy pick a little odd in that scenario, but I hope they realize that whether the mercy was absolutely destroying our mouse, trying to left click harder, the tank was still gonna blow up.
I think it was definitely an interesting pick, to say the least, because it's kind of an uncommon off-meta pick that I'm not used to playing into, really.
Yeah,
And it
it's
did
very
kind of
rare.
mess me up, because it's like, I can't pressure her directly on a lot of the picks, like Ram and JQ.
I was
So
gonna say,
it's kind of difficult
I was going to ask
sometimes.
you, was there any compositions or any elements of the composition that you found tricky, but you already kind of covered that. Um,
Yeah, just the whole Jolts comp, because it's not good, don't play it.
can I also ask you about the fact that when you came to Route 66, did you expect when it came into their attack to see the Reinhardt?
Yeah, I saw him in the spawn room, so...
Well, until before you saw him in the spawn room, did you expect to see a Ryan being played on 66?
I did
our
not expect the Reinhardt anywhere, to be honest. That hero's
our
bad, don't play him.
our Zen player actually got jump scared by that Ryan on the
That's
on
also
the
my
first
bad.
opening.
I just launched a Ryan
I
at him at
mean,
Mach
let's
3.
be honest. As a fellow support player, Ryan jump scares are no joke, man. That shit'll give you a heart attack if you're not careful. Like,
Talk about Alpha and he shall appear.
There he is.
He must have heard us speaking about him.
His ears were ringing.
his spidey senses were tingling, but yeah. But other than that, what did you guys feel like was probably your best? What did you feel like really good about that game? Sure, again, 5-0 and most like that, but anything like in particular that stood out to you guys that you did really well that even now you could still even work on to improve?
I think the ball was good.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
No,
Perfect.
Thank you very much for both Ronan and for Jay for joining for a post-match interview, and congratulations again on the win overall, as well as for Jay to you for getting MVP. But yes, that's what we've got time for today, and yeah. Eat, sleep, ball. Yes, indeed, nightmare, indeed. But yes.
Yeah, okay.
Our
Nice.
famous nightmare who's currently in Echo Jail.
Thanks for having me on here. I'll be here next match.
Yes.
No worries. Give it a...
All right, thank you for having us.
No worries.
Yeah.
Right, so that's going to be in this Scrim and Watch Party. Thanks everyone for joining, and we will see you next time that there is one of these. And hopefully we can get more warning in advance. Looks at Ronan.
Looks at Ronan. But yes, again, all casting together or casting apart, we'll be casting a lot more matches because this is something we both enjoy doing. And so, also, besides Steve's plugin, check me out on YouTube at Sorcerer of Knives. I just kind of stream shit and it's just there for you guys to watch. So I play a variety of games. Overwatch has been my main focus lately, though with Elden Ring Night Rain, I might have to stream that a little bit, but we'll see.
Dad's back. Come say hello, you ungrateful fuck.
And that's probably also my cue to go, because my dad has returned from work, so.
Okay, guys. Thanks everyone again for joining. I'm going to close.